What's up, everybody? This is
Going on?
episode 3. This is Dandin.
Sergeant Machismo was good.
And then today we got our first guest. He is a small business owner by the ways of Aquapeak, Maryland. This is our family, Randy Emerlino.
Yes,
Yo,
sir.
what up? What up? What's good?
Hey, thanks for having us. Thanks for the opportunity to interview you. We really appreciate it.
Of course, man. I already know I gotta support the bros. That's no question. So I'm glad to be here.
Yeah. So we know, of course, we know a lot about you, but a lot of our listeners and viewers don't know. So we just want to just break, icebreaker, just tell them a little bit more about you.
Yeah, man. Yeah, well, my name is Randy GFN, 1/3 of the Good for Nothing crew. Born in DC, raised in Prince George's County, Maryland. Currently residing in Prince George's. But yeah, man. I'm out here, ready to support my bros, Dan and RJ, with this thing, and I'm ready to get it going.
Hey man, thanks for the introduction for that. So yeah, we'll just cut to the chase. So Good for Nothing, that is your brand.
Yes.
From day one, very beginning. So what made you get into the apparel business?
Yeah, man, it's kind of crazy. It's like, it came out of nowhere really, because I didn't go for school for business or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
It was really when I got out of college, I got myself a nice boring IT job, and I joined the workforce, and I got out of work early, you know what I'm saying? And I found like, what am I going to do? So it's kind of crazy. I just kind of was like looking for stuff to do, and a coworker of mine gave me like a pirated version of Photoshop, and he was like, "Dude, you can do like some real cool stuff in Photoshop." And I was like, "Oh man, let me pass the time, learn how to just create some things on my own." And I ended up really like enjoying that creativity. And so really this kind of stemmed from just kind of filling the void of wanting to create and express myself in that way, which is crazy because I didn't even like know I had that void. You know what I mean? Like I kind of just got into something that I was really digging into, and like this was a platform for me to really just kind of grow in that interest of like this new thing that I was learning. Um, so that's kind of how I got into like the whole design process. But like really even clothing wise, man, like the concept of GFN occurred to me in like 2005, which is a long time ago. But I didn't even like make my first shirt until like 2010. So a lot had happened in between, but 2010 is kind of when I said, let me really dig deep and try to really take off with this. And as I said, man, it just was really, I mean, it really just stems from wanting to create and again just fill that void that I felt that I had. You know what I'm saying? So I ended up turning into an apparel brand.
Yeah.
All right, so yeah, man, that's cool, man. I know you've been doing for a long time, so it's like for me, it's like I always wanted to know, as far as when you're designing these, designs, like what you did with this Nevermind joint, stuff like that. So wanted to know what's the process like. It's like when you're like coming up with all these designs.
So my process is really informal, for real, like, I'd say initially it starts with like if I have an idea, and that idea can come at any moment. You know what I'm saying? Like if I'm watching TV, if I'm listening to some music, and something might come to me. I guess my process initially starts with me just writing it down, and that's something that I really had to like habitually make like a part of my process. Was like, I don't just sit down and say, "Oh, I'm gonna make a t-shirt right now." You know what I mean? Like
Right.
it's got to stem from somewhere. So like maybe earlier in the day, I thought of something, and like I've got a note section on my phone, and it's just like an infinite scroll of like just a whole bunch of things that came to my mind.
Good.
But in terms of like finding that inspiration, I mean, again, it can come from anywhere. A song, a show, I'm walking down the street, I see a sign, and it may, you know, I guess reach out to me in some way. So I kind of jot it down. But in terms of like when I finally get in front of the computer and I try to, you know, grind out a design, like I don't really require much, man. I mean, I may have like definitely some music. If anyone knows
Yeah.
me, know I love music, and I mean across all genres of music, I gotta have some good music playing. Obviously comfortable. I'm usually in here in this chair in my office, my home office. Um, you know, maybe a beverage, or maybe a you know a creative enhancer, something. You know what I'm saying?
Of course.
But I mean, yeah, like it will just stem from anything that I see, or even like for real, like something that's just happened in my life. Like, you know,
Right.
every design that I made really has something, you know, deeper meaning into it, and that's kind of what makes it special for me. Is like it actually stood for something. So yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's cool. You got something to say?
Oh no, no.
Yeah.
I think it's nice that a lot of your creative process has meaning. One, I know because you know, I buy a lot of your shirts.
Yes,
One of
yes, you
them,
do.
one of them that I like is the Remain Steadfast shirt.
Yeah,
And we always hear that in church, and
right,
Yeah.
right.
it really hits home. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah. Yeah.
when
Yeah.
they always say like remain steadfast in everything you do, in your faith, you know, in what you believe in, your
Yeah,
family, everything that you do. And then when I see that in a T, and then there's an anchor, I mean, to me, like the anchor holds everything down when you're believing in something, and that's deep. You know, like I think to me that's one of my favorite designs that you had. It was
mm,
simple and it was straight to the point. So
right.
you know, I appreciate that design a lot.
I appreciate you saying
Yeah.
that. Yeah, like again, that's just some, like I said, it'll stem from anything, like something that I hear anywhere. You know what I mean? Whether it's at a service, it's in the car somewhere. You know what I mean? Someone said something. So yeah, that just came out to me, and you know, of course, I wanted to make it more simple, just something easy. And it was cool that a lot of people responded kind of the same way. It was like a lot of positive feedback. So yeah, that's definitely one of the popular ones for sure.
So
That's
yeah.
cool. So I was gonna say also, like when you were making these designs, right? Like, you know, during your early years, what was like? Did you have any challenges like coming up with these designs and stuff?
Definitely challenges, man. You know, you know, they call it that creative block where, like, you know, in your mind, you're ready to kind of to like finish up some or complete a design, or you know, get like even a set of designs out. But you know, sometimes it just doesn't work that way. You know, and I kind of had to learn that, you know, it's definitely not a rush job. Like I said, I don't come in here and say, all right, today I'm gonna make something, or I'm gonna make like our whole season or whatever it is. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like it just,
Yeah.
you know, for me, it doesn't work that way. So those is one of the things I had to adapt to. It's like I need to make sure that we give enough time, you know, for the design, as well as the other things that entail after the design. But um, yeah, man, I mean, it's just getting over the hump, even you know, which is still something that I think um, happens to this day. But it's just a constant exercise to try to like get over that hump, and just, you know, be efficient with the work.
That's cool. On a side note to that, you think, well, do you have like, do you give yourself like a deadline as far as like, you know, trying to create this? Because I know you want to put out designs out there, you want to put it out on the shirt. So
Yeah.
I was saying, like, you know, do you limit yourself, or like even give yourself like a deadline? Like, all right, I gotta meet this deadline. I gotta do it this date, or it was just like, you know, I'll just let it happen, or, you know, just let it, you know, do it on my own time. Put it that way. So is
Right.
it like that?
Oh, that's a good question, man. Like I definitely try to put a deadline. But like I
Yeah.
said, I think, you know, and I can't speak for anyone else's process and how they go about it,
Right.
but
Right.
like I just can't, like I can't say, oh, today I'm gonna finish it, because I might finish it, but then I might not. Um, so I mean, and we've run into that before too, like where I was kind of like just kind of dragging my feet because I just couldn't, for some reason I couldn't get it together.
Right.
Um, but it's, you know, we do set ourselves, you know, give ourselves some time, because again, like I said, there's a whole bunch of processes that go on. after the design. Like once I make the design, then we got to do production.
Yeah.
That entails a whole bunch of things, and then after that, it's like, all right, we got to make sure we do our photos, marketing, and then
Yeah.
sales. So yeah, but again, I think that's the cadence of like just a release. You know what I mean? Like it starts with the design, then the next thing, and the next thing. But in terms of putting a deadline, I definitely try to do it. But I think what's cool too is how we operate and how we work. It's like we're definitely the three of us, man. We're laid back. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And we don't try to we got enough stress out here.
Yeah,
Going on
man.
every
Yeah.
day. So I think the way we operate and the way we communicate with each other it kind of clicks because we're able to navigate through. Like, okay, maybe we're a little bit behind, but we'll make it up on the next thing. So
That's cool.
yeah, man. It's just a constant kind of evolving.
So just a follow-up question with Darrell, and I think that's a great question he asked. I know you collaborate with two other people. What's it like collaborating with those individuals? As far as like as a collaborative effort, and also what were the challenges too with being collaborative, as a team, as a group.
Yeah. So the folks that I chose to work with, man. Obviously I chose them for a reason. Obviously I know them, but then it's like I kind of know how they operate as well, and so that was really what kind of tied me into them. And like I said earlier, just how we communicate and how we work through things. That's what makes it. I'm not gonna say easy, but it makes it. For us, we're able to work things out. So we never really had like rifts within each other, or like there was beef within the group. I mean, we're at the end of the day, we're homies, or, not even ever like we're family, you know what I mean? So we
Yeah.
gotta understand that, and
Yeah.
we can't like be them type of dudes who's like egos and all of that. So
Right.
the challenge is always going to be to manage everyone in a way that we're all motivated to continually work on our craft or whatever our role is on the team. You know what I mean? That's definitely the challenges. But um, again, like I said, I think the composition of our team, it's cool too because I mean, yeah, we work on this, but like on Saturday, I'm gonna go hang at dude's house. You know what I'm saying? Or we're all gonna get together and we're all
Right.
gonna chill.
Right.
So
Yeah.
I think that makes it easy. So yeah, I think there are challenges, but like I said, we're able to get through all of those type of things.
What were your inspirations in designing? It can be individuals, nostalgia, like you were saying. So what are those things that inspired you?
Yeah, definitely nostalgia, man. Like I said, you know, looking back on again just on how I grew up and the things that were present in those times, it's like the music, the sneakers, my sports heroes that I looked up to, all those things played a part. You know what I mean? So definitely there's a nostalgic element to it, but I would also pair that with just where I'm from. Also, you know what I mean? Like again, a lot of my designs reflect that. Even a lot of the colors, right, reflect where I'm from, and that might not be like obvious to folks, but the reason why I do a lot of black, red, and white is kind of that's part of the Maryland flag. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And a lot of our stuff is just black, red, and white, and that's just kind of a colorway too that I enjoyed, obviously because of Michael.
Cool.
You know what I mean?
Michael Jordan.
So
Yeah.
a lot of those things, man, just tie into it. You know, so a lot of the inspiration most definitely comes from this nostalgia, where I'm from, and the people I meet, my peers around, and to say who I'm influenced by, I say that my peers for real. Like, I think through the journey of it all, I was very fortunate to meet a lot of like-minded folks. You know what I'm saying? And I don't got to look far to try to find some inspiration or to try to find like some good folks that I can look to. You can even reach out to them and call them and talk to them on the phone and stuff like that. So yeah, man, I don't gotta reach too far to find that inspiration, but those are kind of the things that are underlying with all the things that are GFN for sure.
Yeah, it's nice that you have that inspiration, just like you were saying, the surroundings around you. I seen in Rael's shirt when you had the Nevermind branding. It's it's inspired by Maryland Terrapins,
Yeah.
Yes.
and then and I also remember I also have both of the shirts. He did a twerp shirt, and
Yeah.
I wasn't at that that show, but I heard good positive and mixed reviews.
Oh, okay. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
That's what I'm talking about.
yeah,
Actually, the joint that was actually at Maryland, right? Yeah.
yeah.
So that was crazy, man. Yeah. So we did a pop up, and this was early on too in the GFN days. Um, and we were invited to do a like a I don't know what kind of show it was, bro, but we were like, whatever it is, we're gonna go and we're gonna rep and we're gonna, it was a time, it was a chance to just get some eyes on us. And so, like I said, going with what inspires me, I came out with a shirt, with the old Terps script,
Yeah.
but put a W in it, so it said twerps.
Twerp.
And like like right before the show, dog, like right before it kicked off, they were like, we're gonna pull that T. And we were like, oh man. But
Oh, they
so
did
it
pull the
kind
teeth.
of it's all good because it kind of
Oh,
led it kind of built some little hype on it. It was like, I want to get that T because they were kind of upset about it, um but that's also by intention too. Like, man, like, we were there to kind of push those buttons too. You know what I mean?
of
Like,
course.
that's just kind of part of it and how we work. So um that was a funny little story from that though. Yeah.
Yeah, 'cause, I mean, to me, the reason why people were so offended is because they care. Of course, they went to school in Maryland, but at the same time, they they know that they care. Hey,
What's going on, man?
the
Little
reason,
man in the
yeah, the
background.
reason why they care is the branding.
Yeah.
It's all right. We don't keep that.
Yeah. Make it
Oh,
interesting, you know what
interesting.
Right.
I'm saying?
You having fun? Okay. Yeah, so what I was saying, it's good branding. And the reason why I think they got mad is because it meant a lot to them. Like, hey, you're in our
Yeah.
school.
No,
Like,
I get it. You know what I'm saying? I get it for sure. But that's kind of like we're able to flip it too
of
into
course.
positive. So,
Yeah.
they pulled it, but like we still sold that joint like right in front of the
Yeah.
doors, like, and
People
people
wanted
caught.
them,
So,
right? Because like,
yeah.
hey, this is not a twerp shirt, it's a twerp shirt.
Right, right. No, it's good though. We made the best of it.
Yeah. That's one of my, I mean, I always say that's my favorite. That's one of also my favorite shirts too. It's great. And then another follow-up question: where do you see your brand, Good for Nothing, Nevermind? And I know you have another collaborative, in the works with another, designer artist. What's your where do you see yourself in the next maybe 3 to 5 years, 10 years from now? Where do you see yourself?
Um, it is something I do think about, but I also, I think we touched on it a little bit earlier. Like, we the composition of our team and how we kind of work things out, right? Like, it's very reflective on our personalities. And like I said, we're kind of laid back with it. And our vision, we kind of defined ourselves. So, we don't really rely on, oh, well, this brand is doing this brand is in, they're in a boutique now, or any of that stuff. So, I don't really try to pay attention to much of that, or at least not that I don't pay attention, but I don't try to model ourselves after that. We definitely do what we want to do. We release when we want to release. But in terms of goals, for sure, it's growth. I mean, we definitely want to grow, and grow in the best way that benefits all of us, I think. And again, as a collective, I think, what our definition of success may not be what someone else's is. You know what I mean? Um, Again, just going back to it, the reason for starting it all was obviously expression. You know what I'm saying? It was something that I wanted to get together and put something out that was meaningful, that, again, like-minded people or people just like me or are from where I'm from are going to gravitate towards, and they're going to understand. And to be honest, I think we definitely have achieved that. Is there room to grow more? Is there room to like expand and do other things? For sure. There is always that path, but I think we're gonna take it how it comes, man. And as you mentioned, I do have some other things in the works with some other folks, and you know definitely excited about those ventures as well. But you know, I don't want to say I don't focus too much on it, but I don't, I guess it's not like, you know, the driving factor in what I do. I just want to continue to make things that people enjoy, people like, and you know, as long as I'm doing that, I think I'm in a good spot. But you know, for sure, if God willing, something happens and I take off, man. Hey, you know, I'll definitely welcome that, and I'll bring y'all along.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean?
I mean,
I'm with it.
that's always the goal, right? You know, that's
Yeah.
like for anybody that, you know, especially when it comes to designing shirts. And you know, there's a lot of people right now that are trying to start a brand or even a business, right? I mean,
Mhm.
what would be like your best advice for them? You know, when it comes to, let's just keep it as far as like designing shirts. What would you be, or building a brand? What would be your like best advice for that individual who wants to start something like that?
That's a awesome question, man. And really, my piece of advice is just, you know, I think that first and foremost, hard work. I mean, you gotta work hard, no matter what. You got to put forth that effort. You got to put that work in. And you know, I think what's rewarding is that hard work like never is in vain. You know what I mean? Like whatever it is you do, as long as you work hard at it, it's going to benefit you in some way. It's going to come
Right.
back you know, with something positive. So I'd say definitely, you know, work hard, but also, you know, stay the course too. And by stay the course, you know, I mean like you know things that are coming. You know, like we talked about earlier, challenges and
Yeah.
things that you have to face, and sometimes you got to be able to maneuver through those things. So, um, you know, if it's something that you really want to lock down, you know, lock in to. I mean, you gotta do what you gotta do. You know, maybe you gotta sacrifice a little bit more. You know, whatever
Yeah.
that may be. But you know, my piece of advice to, you know, along with that, along those lines, it's also to define, you know, what is the success of that brand. You know, what is it that you're trying to achieve? And you know,
Right.
like I said, it could be dollars. It might not be. It could be just, again, you know, you want to put something out there. But you know, I think you got to, you know, you do have to define, you know, what is it that you really want to achieve with this, to kind of give you that direction. So, um, you know, that's definitely my piece of advice, and just to have fun with it too. I mean, you know, yeah, it is a business, but at the same time, I mean, you know, you can have fun with it. And I think you see brands too who kind of lose that factor within, you know what I mean? And you can tell that, oh, they're just trying to make a quick buck, or they're trying to do what's
Right.
trendy. And I think, you know, for the people who are really like into this kind of you know, this you know, this industry and stuff, I mean, you can kind of tell, you know what I'm saying? You can tell whose heart is in it and who's just out there trying to make a fast, quick buck. So um yeah, man, I mean, that'd be my initial piece of advice. Um and I say that kind of, you know, as well to kind of just say that, you know, we had opportunity as well that quite didn't, you know, work out. And, you know, maybe me just having, I guess, the faith that's in me, or, you know, being who I am, I believe that, you know,
Right.
things happen for a reason, right? But things also don't happen for a reason. And so, you
Right.
know, a lot of the
Yeah.
opportunities that came up, man, like, shoot, we had, you know, like Sports Zone was hitting us up. Um, and I declined the meeting, you know what I mean? And that's, it's funny, like you know, me and the homies, we look back on it, we're like, damn, we should have probably just took it, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
But you know, at the time, I still stick to my guns. Like, you know, I wasn't trying to do it. Like, you know, that wasn't the
Yeah.
avenue for us. So, um, you know, other things happened too. I missed a call to, man, what was the joint called? Downtown Locker Room.
Yeah.
Called my phone, bro,
Yeah.
and was ready. Like,
Right.
supposedly, from what I hear, because I knew someone who knew somebody, and they passed my number along. They hit me up. You know, I was at work. I literally just sat down in my chair for a meeting, you know, in my 9 to 5, and I saw the call, and you know, it was just a 202 number. I didn't know, but I didn't pick it up. You know what I'm saying? And later I found out that, you know, that was a buyer for like
Wow.
DTLR. You
Dang.
know what I mean? So imagine
Yeah.
that, right? Like, you
Yeah.
know, and that'll something that just sits on my brain too. You know, like for
Right.
someone as myself who, like, I toil with it, and I wake up, I'm thinking about it. I sleep, I'm still thinking about it.
Yeah.
You know, I eat it up all day. Like this is what I wanted to
Yeah.
do with it.
Yeah.
But you know, again, like I said, things happen and things don't happen for a certain reason. You know, so I got to take it in stride and just continue to do what I do. And if it's meant to be, it's meant to be. So. Um, Yeah, I would tell somebody like straight up, like, don't expect, you're gonna be, rich and famous, overnight, bro. Like it's not gonna
Right.
happen that way.
Yeah.
Just stick to your guns, stick to the script. You know what I'm saying? Put the work in.
Yeah,
Yeah,
so yeah, that's a good thing because like I feel like mostly a lot of people, or small business owners that's into designing shirts and stuff like that. I feel like some of them are just like they want something quick, right?
Yeah,
They want something like, oh yeah, I'm gonna make it overnight, blah blah. Or some of them, like you said, for you at least, you're sticking to your guns and stuff like that. It's not one of those things like you're chasing clout or anything like that, or
exactly, for
just
sure.
chasing fame and stuff. You're actually doing what you love to do, right?
Yeah,
So that's a wonderful thing, man. And that is a good advice that you're gonna give them. In that case. So yeah.
yeah, man.
yeah, that's great. Yeah, I mean, any business that wants to start up their own brand, I think as an owner, a business owner, and as a designer, you have to go through you have to go through like the pitfalls. You have to go through the hardships and stuff.
Right.
It doesn't get any easier, but
Yeah.
you know, and I'm sure in time those opportunities will open up for you again. It's just
Sure.
a matter of like, you just like you were saying, just keep grinding and then just wait for opportunities to happen.
Absolutely, man. For sure. I mean, you gotta. It's a crazy business. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And especially when you really look into it and look at the level of success some folks make, and or some folks like reach, and it's cool. Like it's great. But at the end of the day, too, you gotta kind of have that peace of mind knowing that you can't kind of take things that you were able to accomplish, for granted, or you can't like discredit what you have done. And I think that we learned that for sure. Just looking again, like our supporters are definitely there for sure. Every release, people are there. So it wasn't as if we just fell flat on our face, and we made an impact somewhere somehow with people. And I think that's important to like look back on it and be like, we did something with it. You know what I mean? And that's what keeps
Yeah.
us going for sure. But yeah, man, it's cool too. Like I said, I've met a lot of people along the way, and people that like, man, like you wouldn't even believe. I mean, how they've taken off in all types of businesses, music wise, business wise, apparel, in those industries. But like, it's just wild that like, man, I was able to like to meet them and some even break bread with them, and it's just dope to see people from around the way like make it. So if I become one of them, cool. If I don't, I think I still have a piece of what we accomplished, and that's something that we can look back on and really be proud of. So yeah.
Yeah, and yeah, man. That's what I'm saying. It's like you created something, right? I mean,
Yeah,
that's the most important thing. You created something great for everybody, and
yeah,
you're very passionate about it. So that's
Yeah,
sure.
a good
and
thing.
you made an impact too in people's lives too. Um, every time like I see a shirt, like man, I gotta get it because of course I also want to support the business, but also there's for each design that you have there's meaning, and
Yep.
that's what drives me to continue to support the brand because it's not just a shirt that you were saying like you just make it up in a day or two. There's time and effort that you did. There's a creative thought, a creative there's a creative way of you doing things.
Right.
So me as a consumer and a supporter, and like I appreciate like all the good work you did, for good for nothing.
Oh man, appreciate that. Really. I mean, honestly, like that's again, like I said, that's kind of some reassurance of just what we do, what we put out there. And so, we do it for the folks, man. We do it for the homies.
You got a follow up questions to that, Dan?
No, we're good.
All right, yeah.
That's good.
So yeah, as far as everything else, well, we pretty much asked you everything about the brand and stuff. It's like a more personal question now, right? It's something we all like, obviously. So I guess the question is, what got you into sneakers? I know you're a very nostalgic guy, but
Yes.
we want to know about that part now. So
We want to
All
know.
right. All right, here we go. The sneaker talk.
yeah,
Yeah, man. So sneakers is just I mean, honestly, dog, like I think it's just, you know, where we come from. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
in DC and Maryland, man, if you got some, you know, if your kicks are just not right, like
You
that's
get
like a
flamed.
sin. You know what I'm saying? Like it's a sin against your life.
Yeah.
Like you bought those shoes, bro. Like what are you doing? So I think, you know, it
Yeah.
definitely stems back from just growing up in the area, and the area always, for some reason, and not everyone, obviously, for the people who enjoy sneakers and that kind of thing, you know, that culture, it's for us, and you know, we enjoy that. But it definitely stemmed from then. Like I said, nostalgia. You know, for me, you know, growing up um, as a kid with immigrant parents from the Philippines, like I had one pair of shoes for a whole year. You know what I mean? So like all my friends had like all the latest joints. I had some whack ass shoes from, you know, not even from like Foot Locker, dog. Like the joints would be from like I think the store was called like the shoe department, and they had like all
Hey,
the
I
all
think
the
it's still
beepers.
around. They're still around too, man.
Yeah, so you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying. Like, I think just growing up and knowing that shoes was a thing amongst my peers, and then knowing that I didn't have none until I got, you know, when I was able to pay for my own shoes is when I was like, all right, let me go back and get those. So I think, like I said, for me, you know, obviously, like I said, you know, I followed, you know, heavy Michael Jordan back in the day. You know, he was my absolute favorite athlete of all time. Um, so all the Jordans was tight. You know, my first Jordan was the fire red fives, the
Dang.
black tongue
Wow.
Good.
that my cousin gave me, dog. Like it wasn't even like my mom bought them. Like he gave me them joints because he couldn't fit them no more.
Yeah.
And I couldn't even fit them, but I still wore them. You know, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So like that was my
Yeah.
first shoe. That was like a good shoe. It's like a designer kick. And I was like, oh, these are tight. But you know, I don't even that was so long. Like I was still in elementary school. Um, but really, fast forward until like high school is when I really started to be able to get kicks. I was saving up my lunch money and buying like, you know, whatever I could buy, like the best deal too. Even back then, the player price like mentality was intact.
Yep.
Yeah, price, baby.
Yeah, so
It's the way
yeah,
of
man.
life.
I mean, like I said, I think it just starts from nostalgia, a lot of nostalgia, and just growing up from where we come from, and you know, it was even like back in the day, like when the East Bay magazine came out, like
Yeah.
you know, me and my cousin, the game we would play is like we flip through every single page. You got to pick a shoe from that page. And then,
Always.
like, you know what I'm saying? And like we would battle and disagree. Like, oh, you gonna pick those? Those are weak. Like, no,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do
Yeah.
these. You know, so
Yeah.
yeah, the sneaker thing was always part of just, you know, me growing up. So it definitely it was kind of natural how it would transition into my adult life as well, where I
Yeah.
still to this day buy the same kicks from like 1997 or
Yeah.
whatever. So.
What's your favorite pair? I mean, pairs of shoes that you have.
My favorite pairs.
Yeah, that's a
You
tough
already
thing,
know
right?
that's a
You
hard.
made it
It's hard
pairs,
to lock
so
me
you
down, man. I
know.
mean, so for me, you know, and Rail knows, dog. Like the Jordan 1 was just iconic for me, always.
Yeah.
And I'll go ahead and tell us, like the 2001 Bread ones when they came out, I copped them things in Las Vegas at Caesar's Palace because
And
I was actually out of town. I had left out of town. I was kind of blown because I was like, I know they're coming out. I know they're coming out this week, but I'm not going to be here. And I was so pissed. I was like, damn, I'm going to miss them. And so we went to Las Vegas. And like me and my cousin, again, we were in the WB store. If y'all remember WB site.
Yeah, I
So
remember.
we were standing in line. I think my cousin was buying like a T-shirt or something, and the dude in front of us had I want to say it was the Nike store was like Nike Town or something like that. I think it was called.
I
So he
think
had a Nike Town bag, right? And he
Yeah.
had dropped. He put it down to like get his wallet to pay for whatever he was buying. And I looked and I saw it said Jordan 1, and I was like, oh sh. So I was like, dude, I asked the dude. I was like, yeah, where did you get those? He was like, oh, there's Nike Town, like right down the you know, across the store or whatever. So man, we ran over there, and I was like, "Can I get? You know, you got my size?" They still had it, and I just remember like I was able to grab them joints, and I had my threes on too. And I remember the clerk was like, "Bro, you got the threes and you copping these?" He was like,
Yeah.
"Going off right now." But I would say, you know, the Jordan 1 is just so iconic for me. Just again, the red and black. It's Michael Jordan, who's first one, and just such a clean model. So I think that, you know, definitely that'd be my. If I had to pick one of all time, it would have to be that.
Jordan 1. Yep.
That's a nice shoe. Because you wore, when you took engagement pictures, wasn't that the shoe that you wore too?
That was the picture.
Right?
Yep, that was the shoe. I was like, I gotta wear these no matter what. I had khakis on and a polo shirt. I was like, I'm still wearing these. So
Yes, sir.
yeah, I made it a point to wear those things.
Same with Rail too. Like he got married in Jordan 1s too.
I had to do
Both of
it.
y'all.
Yeah, I had to do it, man. So
Yeah, it's a
Yeah.
classic.
iconic shoe right there. So
Yeah, so part of it too, like Randy, me, Rael, and Randy, we also, we all partook in like, going on shoe rounds. So we would
Yes.
go
camp outs.
weekend camp outs,
Yeah.
in the cold, in the summertime. We would always, it was always a collaborative effort. Even though when you
Yes.
don't want to buy something, it's always one of these people. And then we also join in with some people too.
Yeah.
It was always like someone, hey man, just get it,
Right.
You
You
already
need that extra push.
you need that
Yeah,
extra push.
we're always doing that.
We're on the register, no regrets, no regrets.
Right.
Yeah, like the last time when we did the shoe round was at like 20.
That was epic, bro.
That was
that was
epic.
Yeah,
Yeah, that was a good one.
That was a
Yeah.
good one, yeah. Because I flew out here for my cousin's wedding, so I had like free time, and then Rael didn't have work, and then Randy, I hit him up like, hey, you want to like go? Randy already knew what we wanted to do, so like we met him at the outlet where while he was waiting for us to get there to me there, he bought a pair for himself.
Yes. I had to get them Aqua 8s real
Aqua
quick.
8s.
It was the last size too.
He was the last one. I said, this is it. This is the sign. This is the beginning. Like this sets the tone for the rest of the day.
The tone, yeah. We went to Cluck Hughes. I drove all the way to Bowie just to eat because I'm just infatuated with Cluck Hughes. And then we made our way out to Forestville. And then at that time, Jordan 1 lows, nobody cared about him.
Nobody, dude.
Nobody. That's a fact. Before Travis Scott ones, and this is a fact, nobody cared about him. There was Fat 1 lows, Jordan 1 lows. Nobody did. So when we went to Forestville, first thing we saw, Shadow 1 lows for how much?
No, $49.99.
Like I swear it was like $39. It was something insane.
It was probably something like that, yeah.
And I couldn't believe how they were giving away these shoes. I said, I gotta get all of these. You know what I'm
The
saying?
the cashier was like, yeah, I already bought a pair for my nephew for his birthday in like December, and that was like it was like October. That's how cheap it was, and then it just snowballed. Like, we went to Shoe City. Oh, was it Shoe City? Yeah, Shoe City.
Yeah.
And then they just had like the Chicago ones for like, what was it, like $40, $50?
Yeah.
And now they're selling, I see on, how much do they sell now, Rel? Like 800?
Yeah, 800 average, like the most.
For a low top.
For a low top.
A low top.
Wow.
It's insane. And then we went back Eastover. We saw those the black and red low ones. Funny story. Randy, in typical fashion, held the shoe, and then looked at it, smelled it. He said, "Nah, I don't need it. I got the old ones." So what I did, out of the goodness of my heart, I don't even live in Maryland no more. I called Shoe City when they opened and asked them, "You have a 10.5 or 11?" "Oh, I got an 11. All right. Can you hold them for me?" And I gave him Randy's name. And then I messaged you, hey, like, I had a shoe for on hold for you. And yeah. So I know deep down inside you didn't want them, but I knew that you really wanted them in the end.
Dude, like the drive there, I was kind of blown. I was like, man, I'm just trying to get home. I got to stop off at Eastover real quick and then battle 210 on the way. So like I was kind of blown, but when I got them, I was like, hell yeah. Like, and then the dude wrote my name. He wrote my name inside the box. I was like, oh, like now it's even more special. The dude wrote my damn name on the box.
People don't do that no more.
Oh wow.
I'm sure they don't do that no more. I mean, just
no, they don't. I don't think they do.
Hell no.
Yeah. Probably not. But
Not
yeah,
for
that
stuff like
was
that. No.
yeah, that was a great assist for sure.
Yeah.
Definitely,
We basically bought all of the colorway, all the original colorways in that day.
man.
It was
Right.
insane.
Yeah, it's
Yep.
crazy because even before all of that, like I got mines from Villa. I don't know if you guys know that store, but it's a store based out of like Philly.
Philly,
But
yeah.
they collaborated with DTLR now. And I remember I bought those shoes, man. I bought all the low ones for $63. I was like, damn, it's only $63, man. I was
Yeah,
like, I'm
that's
gonna go ahead and
crazy.
get it.
That's
So,
crazy.
and I bought 2 pairs of each, and then like the other ones I sold. I mean, at that time it wasn't going for much, so I sold them for like $160. But yeah, it's
Mm.
crazy now, man. Those prices now, you look on eBay or
You
everywhere
look on
else.
eBay.
Yeah, it's crazy.
You look on StockX.
Yeah, man.
Right.
The prices, and like I said, people maybe I'll share. I still have video just for proof. There is video proof that we bought them for that price, and
Yeah,
you know it's just crazy right now. I mean, yeah, like I said, the Travis Scott thing, and everybody wants Jordan 1 lows. That's
yeah,
just it
and
right now.
yeah. Like the lows now that's coming out too. It's like they're not even like the OGs, and they're selling out, which is
Right.
crazy, right?
Yeah, it is, man. I mean, again,
Yeah,
that's just a sign of the times. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
it
Like,
is. You just gotta roll with it, though. To be honest with you.
right, right.
So,
Yeah.
Yeah, shoes are like I said, it's always a fun conversation. It's always
yeah,
you always like when we looked up back about Eastover and
Yeah.
Forestville and PG Plaza,
Iverson Mall.
Iverson Mall.
Yeah,
Right.
Yeah. The places that people didn't want to go to are the places that had the gems,
yeah,
you know?
Right.
So,
Definitely, man. I mean, yeah, there's countless memories at each of those spots, dude. Like, I can even remember some kicks that I literally bought at those spots. And for some reason, I guess it's just being in this culture. Like, I'm gonna remember when I bought them and
yeah,
where. I mean, that's just how it is.
yeah,
yeah,
but, like, Randy also still has, like, some of his, like, original, Foamposites, which is
Uh,
amazing.
yeah, yeah, I still got a couple of them for sure. A lot of joints that I would like, I'd leave school real quick just to go get them and then come back. You know what I mean? There's a lot of those for sure. But no, it's funny, man. Like, so I wore the Spirit-Ons the other day, and I took a picture of it, and my cousin was like he remembered, which is insane. Like when I bought them, like back in what '97, he
Yeah.
was like, "No, you bought those on Alabama Avenue." I remember, and I
damn.
was like, "I remember too." Like I bought them. First of all, they were marked down, which was crazy. They were marked down. It was a sports zone on Alabama Avenue, southeast, and I was like, my folks live right down the street, so we would always walk up and down, and we would always stop in, and like, yeah, I saw them joints on the wall, and they were marked down. I think like it wasn't like too much marked down, but it was still like maybe $70 or $80, and I
Yeah,
was like, I gotta get them, and I copped them. But like, yeah, it was just it was funny. My man was like, in '97 you copped those, and I remember, and I was like, yes, like for some reason that's just a weird thing that we all remember, like
yeah,
where we copped them and when, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Each shoe has a different story, when, where, what happened.
yeah.
Right.
So yeah, that's what it is. It's always gonna be a part of us every time. Like when you get into this game, it's always gonna be part of you,
Right.
regardless of what you say. You could be like, "Oh, I'm done. I'm chilling." Blah blah. blah. Nah,
Right.
that's not correct, man. You're always gonna be part of you, regardless,
Yeah.
dude. So
Just like the
Yeah.
last episode with Rel, like this guy went to Baltimore, like the bad part of Baltimore.
yeah, it it just bothered me, man. Like I said, if I can't get it, I'm gonna have to get it. And
Right.
I was like, you gotta do like you said, you gotta do whatever it takes to get it. So I was like, I had to go to that one part of Baltimore, and I was like, oh man, I finally got it. At the end of the day, you're like, yes, I got it. I did all that work.
Right.
When all I could have did was like wake up early or something and line up. So yeah, it's crazy. Yeah,
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, we'll definitely gonna do we'll definitely do like a sneaker episode that's gonna be multiple episodes. And we'll probably do like a round table. We're gonna get Randy and a couple of other people that we know.
yeah, definitely. That'll be cool.
That's gonna be fun.
Yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, and then Rel, you wanna ask the other question?
Yeah, so obviously we're all family and stuff. So what's your favorite vacation place that that
Ah.
they like going to and stuff like that?
Well, it's crazy that this falls on the anniversary of 2018 when we were
Yeah.
all in Hawaii,
Oh yeah.
right? Like that
Yeah,
was
yeah,
literally a couple of days ago, I think, that we
yeah.
were all in Hawaii. So I mean, I was, that was, that was, I think a lot of us, it was our first time in Hawaii.
Hell
Um,
yeah. Yeah.
Yep.
but that was memorable. I think just the sheer fact of, one, we were there, for the event, you know what I'm
Yeah.
saying, your marriage, but then like all the folks came through too, you know what I'm saying,
Yeah.
and it's, you already know, like when all of us together here, it's gonna be something wild and something
We're just in
crazy.
a
So,
different like we're all separated. I mean, everybody's in Maryland. I'm
right.
2,000 miles, and then we're
So like to
all in
reunite,
one island, man.
yeah, reunite in paradise is like you already knew that was gonna be like something amazing. So I definitely say Hawaii is memorable. I still like would want to go back
Yeah.
ASAP.
I want to go back to.
Yeah, man.
Yeah,
Just to
that
revisit
was a
everything
cool time.
else. Just to revisit it.
Yeah, but yeah, I mean I think that's definitely my number one for sure. And then after that, it's just like I love Mexico, so that's always going to be another spot that I'd like to go to. Go back to. I always go back and forth there. So um, yeah, I think of all time, it's probably going to be Hawaii, man. That was for sure memorable. I mean, we had some good times out there.
I think I guess same goes for me. I don't know about you, Dan.
Hawaii? I want to go
Yeah,
back.
yeah,
Yeah, we all want to go back for Hawaii.
yeah.
Nice
Right.
views. Nice views.
And that's what it is. The views, baby.
It's the views. Yep. All you gotta
Yeah.
have is a token of view. All right. So yeah. So this is gonna be our last question, Randy. We appreciate your time, and also Randy. He designed our banner for our podcast, so we appreciate you know the last minute
Yeah.
design. We're not very picky people. We just wanted like something in
Something.
Word because we're not. All we know is Microsoft Paint.
Yeah.
In Comic Sans font.
Yeah.
Italic, underline. So we
Oh no,
appreciate
man,
that.
Copy and paste.
We
yeah, no,
appreciate it.
that was no problem, man. Like I said, I always support the pros, man. So that was something super simple. I mean, your requirements were very straightforward, So
We're not asking you to do a birthday banner.
right. So no, that was nothing, man.
So our last questions for you is do you have any questions for me and Rel?
I do, man, and I think I'll just kind of turn the tables and kind of ask y'all a sneaker question. I mean, player price is like is the motto. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
It is.
That's something that we all know.
It's a
is something
belief.
that, yeah, it's a belief system. You know what I mean? So I would say, my question to y'all is like, what would you consider to be like your best player price purchase? And I'm not saying like what's the cheapest, because I know in episode 2, like y'all were talking about like $9.99 shoe, but like the combination of like for the price that you got it for and the actual shoe that you got, like what is your most prized, I guess, player price acquisition?
That's such a tough question, and that's a good question too. Rel, you want to take that or?
Uh, you know what? Yeah. It's hard. I mean, it's crazy to say it's hard. It's like it's a difficult question, but it's a good question. I would like to say it's probably going to be the Galaxy Foamposites for me that I
Mm,
had a long time ago. I think. I mean, yeah, it still costs like $800, but to
right.
me that was a player price at that time, right?
Mm,
And crazy story, it came from Auckland, New Zealand,
wow.
from this guy that
New
I
Zealand?
New Zealand. See, nobody ever knew that. I was making contacts, because I was a big foam guy at that time, so
Right.
I was trying to make and that when that release came, it was just devastating. We couldn't get it, we all got kicked out, blah blah. But yeah, I was just going around the internet. Maybe I think it was Nike Talk. I spoke to somebody,
Mhm.
And yeah, in Auckland, New Zealand, I spoke to him. He was like, "Hey man, can we make a deal?" Because I think he was selling it for like $975, close to $1,000, like that, or even $1,200, something like that. But yeah, I got it for $800. So I think to me, yeah, it still costs, obviously more than what it is. But I think that's, to me, that's like the best player price that I could ever get at that time.
Wow.
That's
There
a
it is.
steal.
That's the Galaxy Foamposite story.
I mean, that's a hell of a shoe though, man.
Yeah,
Like that,
yeah.
like I remember the hype behind that was sick. You know what I mean? Like people
Yeah.
were ready to just die for them joints. So yeah.
Yeah. How long
Like I
was the
said,
camp out for that?
yeah. Because like I said, player price, obviously that's the main goal. It's like getting it for the lower, like the cheap. And I have so many cheap stuff, and I can't say,
Right.
which one's best. But I think that one right there, anytime, like I said, anytime you could cut down on the price, below the market value at that time. That, to me, that's all. That's a player price right there. So.
Yeah, definitely. That's cool.
All right, so me, best player price, I would probably have to say the Jordan 1 black and red from 2001. Bought it with my own Popeyes money.
Wow.
After graduating high school, I worked at Popeyes with my cousin. So my first paycheck I bought was the black cement 3s. I think it was like $89.99. It was like about less than 100.
Right,
and then the Jordan ones, because I knew like they were coming out. It was in 2001. I bought them in Waldorf. I think it was like only $89.99, right?
I think it was like
79 or 89.
75. It was like 79
like
or something. Finish line.
So to me, like I was like, oh man, it's a steal. Like, because I was always used to paying Jordans. I paid my Concords for like 130 back in 2000. So to buy a Jordan, like numbered shoe for less than $100 that time, I thought that was a good deal. And then it just blew up, like the hype and everybody wanting like Jordan 1s. Sad to say that I don't have them no more, but I wish I still did. But to me, that was like a player price like memory for me, and as far as like value.
Cool. Those are two solid models right there, man. Those are essential for any sneaker person.
Especially for this area, right?
Right. Yeah, definitely.
Man, so so this basically wraps up our podcast for today. Once again, we want to thank Randy for taking the time, to share your stories, your advice, and everything that you've done for your for Good for Nothing, Nevermind, and all your future endeavors. We wish but nothing but the best, and just continue to just grind it out, like you were saying, and the right opportunities will come knocking. And I think with your positive attitude, the people around you, and the support of your loyal customers, and hopefully new customers when they listen to this podcast, that will continue to provide more success to you and your your company.
All right, man. Appreciate it. Appreciate y'all, man. Family all day, so you already know.
Yes, sir.
All right, so
I'll put that link down to your Instagram handles, to the GFN 1-2, so they can look at the history, and just going through all those pictures. So I'll put that in our links. So
yeah. So what's your handles on your social media, Randy?
And Instagram is just at GFN Crew. Pretty straightforward. So yeah, man, give that a follow. Check us out. You see what we're about.
Yeah, and you have a website too, right?
We do. Yeah, it's www.gfncrew.com. That's directly our store link. So just hit that up.
Yeah.
Still got a couple things out there. Fortunate to have some stuff sold out, but yeah, we still got some things that folks can look at, and just in this in between time before our next release. So yeah, definitely give that a visit as well.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, that's great, man. So yeah, thanks so much for having us. We appreciate it. And yeah, till next time, man.
Yes, sir. Alrighty.
All right.
Later.
All right.
Peace.
Peace.